afternoon, everyone. It's 6:05. I call this meeting to order. Roll call.
Aldo Benavides present.
Anthony Oresti present.
Esmeralda Solis present.
Nereida Cantu present.
Mary Hernandez present.
Roberto Zamora present.
Alex Cantu present. I do declare a quorum. Item number 3, Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. This evening we have Angela Gonzalez to help lead us in the pledge allegiance to the flag. Angela is a senior student at La Jolla High School T-STEM Academy. She is a 4-year member of La Jolla High School Grupo Folclórico Tabasco and is currently a production officer. Angela is the president of the National Honor Society and is involved in senior class, student council, HOSA, and serves as a Gear Up ambassador. Angela Gonzalez is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Raul Gonzalez. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you. Sorry. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Angela. And will Angela's parents and family please stand? Thank you.
For clarification, we're going to move over to item number 5, and then we'll do the superintendent's report, followed by public comments. This will give us time for the students that are here to get their reward, to their recognitions, and then that way we're able to clear and make a little bit more room for the public comments, okay? So with that being said, item number, under approval of minutes, number 1, regular called meeting for December 14th, 2022. Need a motion?
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Solis, a second by Mr. Oresti. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 2, State Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas. First report, December 14th, 2022. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Solis, a second by Mr. Oresti. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3, regular called meeting for January 11th, 2023.
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Solis.
Second.
A second by Dr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, Facilities Committee meeting for January 11th, 2023.
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Solis.
Second.
A second by Dr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6, regular called meeting for January 25th, 2023.
Number 5.
Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped number 5. Item number 5, Board Operating Procedures Committee, January 18th, 2023. Need a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Solis,
Second.
a second by Dr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6, regular called meeting for January 25th, 2023.
So moved.
I have a
Just
motion
a correction, or at least clarification
on the
job order contracts.
Okay.
job order contract.
That would be on page 29. Just to clarify that those $3 million are not for those contractors that are listed there, that include others that have been previously approved. Is that correct, ma'am?
That's correct, Dr. Zamora. Thank you for the clarification.
Okay, for item number 6, I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Solis.
Second.
A second by Mr. Oresti. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, Facilities Committee meeting for February 2nd, 2023. I need a motion.
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Oresti.
Second.
Second by Ms. Solis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item number 6 on Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Cantu. The first item on the superintendent's report is the enrollment report for February 7th, 2023. On this date, we had 11,794 elementary students, 13,096 secondary students, for a total of 24,890 students, which is 315 students more than on this date last year. The second item And if I could please have Mr. Cantu and Mr. Anthony Oresti step forward to do the recognition. And it is recognition of float committee members and employees attributed to making the 2023 La Jolla ISD float for the Texas Citrus Fiesta Parade 2023.
Good evening, Board President, Dr. Science Superintendent, board members, and community. Today, it is an honor to honor our recognition of the float committee members and employees who contributed to the making of the 2023 La Jolla ISD float for the Texas Citrus Fiesta. With me, I do have Mr. Robert Rivera and Dee Rendon from Texas Citrus Fiesta to award all of our winners. We did have a district winner, and then we had 3 of our elementary campuses in the campus category win. So if Camarena Elementary Principal, please come up and receive your award. We did have Camarena placing in the elementary category first place, Principal Ms. Dulce Diaz. From Chapa Elementary, we have Principal Ms. Eliamar Lopez, second place. And then Escandon Elementary, Principal Ms. Mary Sepulveda, third place. Oh, they're missing their ribbon. So congratulations to our elementary division winners, first, second, and third.
Great job.
You can give it to Ms. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations.
I don't think so.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
To continue with our district float and the contributors and the committee members for that float, we want to honor our Ms. Ashley Garza from the Public Relations Department. Mr. Remigio Reyes from the Public Relations Department. Ms. Norma Garza from the Migrant Department. Ms. Rosalba Martinez from the Risk Management Department. Mr. Victor Garza from the Athletics Department. Not with us today, Mr. Pepe Cavazos from Print Shop Department. Could not be with us today, our parents, our social worker from JD Salinas, Ms. Norma Garcia. And parent volunteers, Ms. Isabel Ortiz and Nelida Tapia. From La Jolla High School Folklorico Director, Mr. Cristobal Rojas. Students participating in the float, Ms. Karen Ramirez. Mr. Diego Rojas. Scarlett Hinojosa. Ángel Cantú. Nancy Gonzalez. Adan Gonzalez, Ángela Gonzalez, and Raúl Gonzalez. From Palmview High School, Mariachi Los Lobos, Director Mayra Garcia. Students Gael Acevedo, Imelda Avalos, Karime Castellanos, Juan Mesa, Melanie Morin, Emily Peña, Jovan Rivera, Merari Uribe, Jadson Tamayo, Sofia Villarreal, and Assistant Director Ms. Ashley Escamilla. So I know we have a lot of kids and a lot of participation. We're going to take a picture with the students and then we'll do the rest of the stuff.
How are you, sir? Good to see you.
Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, you guys are fine. There we go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Right now we'll be able to show very well deserved. Right now we'll be able to show a little video of what it looked like at the day of the parade. So thank you so much. And then we'll continue with our stuff. So to continue with our staff, from the CNS department, Chef Luis Pastor. Also from the CNS department, Ms. Rosario Gonzalez. Irma Perez. Leonor Perez. And Cynthia Lopez. From the Facilities Department, Facilities Director, Mr. Mario Flores. Not with us today, Mr. Rogelio Hernandez. Mr. Heraclio Perez. Mr. David Ochoa. Arturo Gonzalez, Mr. Noe Science, Jose Flores, Carlos Guzman. Not with us today, Mr. Renato Valdez. Mr. Fernando Salinas, Mr. Amadeo Guajardo, Mr. Ricardo Leos. Could not be with us today, Mr. Hector Salinas, Heriberto Cedillo, and Jose Vega. So the rest of the staff can join us for the photo. They were the true, to develop all this, the slicing of the fruit. They were there till very late hours, putting the fruit up. So it was a lot of hard work from this particular group. So thank you so much. We appreciate you, and it is an honor to announce that we did receive first place in our float. We do have a short video that we're going to show you all in the making, the pre-production and during and then post-production. So we hope you enjoy. Thank you so much to all the staff that help, and thank you so much for all your time.
La palma, yo soy un hombre sincero, de donde crece la palma, y antes de morir yo quiero echar mis versos del alma, y antes de morir yo quiero echar mis versos del alma. Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera. No me pongan en lo oscuro a morir como un traidor. No me pongan en lo oscuro a morir como un traidor. Yo soy bueno y como bueno moriré de cara al sol. Yo soy bueno y como bueno moriré de cara al sol.
So it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work, but working in a team effort, it's always fun. We always try to make it fun at the Public Relations Department and everybody. So thank you so much to all the float committee. Thank you so much for all your time, and we won first place.
Mr. Cantu, Mr. Reza, you could please stay for the next two awards. Next, we have a recognition of Juarez Lincoln High School band student Jan Campos.
Good evening, President Cantu, members of the school board, Dr. Gisela Sainz, central office administrators, and community members in attendance. It is my sincerest privilege to stand before you tonight to recognize an outstanding young man who is a member of the Juarez Lincoln High School Band, and also, if you don't mind, Dr. Sainz, all three of our high school mariachi groups for high achievement and accomplishments. Famous race car driver Mario Andretti says, "Desire is the key to motivation, but it's determination and commitment to an unrelenting pursuit of your goal and a commitment to excellence that will enable you to attain the success you seek." This quote perfectly exemplifies the students and teachers we are recognizing tonight. We are here to celebrate these outstanding students and their teachers for their recent outstanding accomplishments. Our first recognition is Juarez Lincoln High School band trombonist Jan Campos. Jan Campos earned a chair in the 2023 TMEA All-Region Orchestra, the 2023 TMEA All-Region Band, the 2023 TMEA Area G Band, and the prestigious 2023 Texas Music Educators All-State Band, where he performed with the best of the best in the entire state of Texas in San Antonio this past Saturday. Earning a chair in a Texas Music Educators Association All-State Ensemble is the highest honor a Texas music student can receive. 1,830 students are selected through a process that begins with over 70,000 students from around the state vying for this honor to perform in one of 18 ensembles sponsored by the band, orchestra, and vocal divisions. When the audition process is all done, only 2.6% of the 70,000 students in Texas that begin this process are named a TMEA All-State member. Jan is the second student in the history of the Juarez Lincoln High School Band and the third student in the history of the Juarez Lincoln High School Music Department to earn this distinction. Jan is here with his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Guadalupe and Isabela Campos, along with his middle school band directors, Oscar Santiago and Oscar Garcia, and his high school directors, Mrs. Zinaia M. Banda, and Mr. Josue Rodriguez, along with the principal at Juarez Lincoln High School, Mr. Ricardo Estrada. Please help me congratulate and recognize our 2023 Teammate All-State Band member, Jayan Campos.
Congratulations to Jan Campos and his parents, and to all our directors. Thank you so much. Next, we have recognition of the La Jolla High School Mariachi.
I'm excited to announce that all three of our La Jolla ISD Mariachi programs received a Division I rating at the 2023 UIL South Texas Mariachi Contest, which was held on January 21st at the Alejandro Alex H. Science Performing Arts Center. Receiving a Division I at this contest now qualifies all our groups to advance to the 2023 UIL State Mariachi Festival, which will be held at the Seguin Performing Arts Center next Friday and Saturday. All three of these groups have been working extremely hard on top of the various community performances and shows since November of last year to represent La Jolla ISD at this prestigious event. Please help me congratulate the following La Jolla ISD High School Mariachis for this outstanding accomplishment. Representing the La Jolla High School Mariachi, Los Coyotes are Abram Garcia, Jr., Junior Raul Garcia, Senior Natalie Garcia, Senior Salma Guajardo, Senior Mauricio Tames, Junior Osvaldo Galaviz, Junior Josué Alvarado, Junior Dante Ramos, and Senior Juliana Flores. Mariachi Director is Martin Cantu, assisted by Dominga Garza, Karina Aldape, and Rogelio Escobedo, and Principal at La Jolla High School is Mr. Antonio Cano.
Parents of the La Jolla High School Mariachi, kids, if you're in the audience, please stand so that we can recognize you. Parents and family. Congratulations, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Cantu and Mr. Uresti. If I can now please have Dr. Cantu and Dr. Zamora join us for the next two recognitions. Recognition of the Juarez Lincoln High School Mariachi.
Representing the Juarez Lincoln High School Mariachi, Sol de Oro, for receiving a Division I rating at the 2023 UIL South Zone Mariachi Contest and now advancing to the 2023 UIL State Mariachi Festival are Ivin Lara, Junior. Junior, Alvaro Martinez. Sophomore, Jesus Ramirez. Junior, Alejandro Rocha. Sophomore, Jeremy Reina. Junior, Francisco Hinojosa. Junior, Diego Martinez, or Marines, excuse me. Junior, Adolfo Morales. Senior, Yaretsi Cuellar. Sophomore, Esteban Lucio. And Senior, Ana Alviso. Mariachi Director is Ruben de los Santos, assisted by Daniel Garcia, Yadira Hernandez, and Jose Hernandez. Principal at Juarez Lincoln High School is Mr. Ricardo Estrada.
Parents of these students, if you're in the audience, please stand so we can recognize you. Recognition of the Palmview High School Mariachi.
Representing the Palmview High School Mariachi, Los Lobos, for receiving a Division I rating at the 2023 UIL South Zone Mariachi Contest and advancing to the 2023 UIL State Mariachi Festival are Gael Acevedo, freshman. Junior, Imelda Avalos. Senior, Karim Castellanos. Junior, Juan Mesa. Freshman, Melanie Morin. Junior, Emily Peña. Junior, Jovan Rivera. Sophomore, Merari Uribe. Senior, Jetson Tamayo. And freshman, Sofia Verial. Mariachi Director is Myra Garcia, assisted by Ashley Escamilla, and Principal at Palmview High School is Mr. Leonel Perez.
Will the parents of these students please stand so we can recognize you? Thank you, Dr. Cantu, and thank you, Dr. Zamora. For the next three recognitions, if I could please have Ms. Esmeralda Solis, Ms. Mary Hernandez, and Dr. Alda Benavides. Recognition of the La Jolla ISD Career and Technical Education Department as part of National Career in Technical Education Month.
Good evening, Mr. Board President, members of the board, community members, administration. As you may be aware, February is a Career in Technical Education Month, and we do this in recognition of the value of CTE programs in a student's educational experience and achievements and accomplishments of CTE programs across the country. La Joya ISD is proud of our expansive CTE programs that support student future readiness with courses providing clear direction to pursue high-demand post-secondary opportunities, whether that be a college education or entering the workforce through a certification and things of that nature. I do have my staff present. We're representing our CTE department, so obviously, it's a rather expensive, so thank you for being here. In our program with CTE, we pride ourselves of providing our students with opportunities to at least 1,000 certifications every year that apply towards our accountability rating. And so if we factor in all, it's obviously a higher number, but we are very proud that we can always offer these amount of certifications to our students. In our labs, we pride ourselves by having the latest technology, as you can see in that picture, and I'll focus a little bit more in there. But if you look at the picture there at the very top right corner, a lot of our equipment that was used to produce those items are visible in our stadium, and a lot of this equipment that we purchased was utilized to create these products for our district. So we do take great pride in that. We have virtual welders where our students can practice their welding skills before they go into the actual lab. And so this equipment have been available for them. And then we've also expanded with equipment that is equivalent to our IHE partners. So our students get access to equipment in our district that they'll have access to at STC, for example. And so we take great pride in that. We also offer courses, right, in CTE that are dual credit, and also the certifications that go attached with those particular programs. One example is the architectural design, where our students learn AutoCAD and other programs to draft houses and things of that nature. So we're very happy to be able to provide that for our students. As a whole, our district offers up to 25 programs to study, like engineering, welding, cosmetology, business, health science, and more. So we do have these offerings for our students, right, for their benefit, and obviously we take great pride in these items. And also I want to mention that from our 6th grade level through our senior level of students, we do service a little over 8,000 students in our program as well. So it is a rather extensive program, but I do want to say thank you for the support, because obviously without the support we can't move forward, and so thank you very much for that. And again, I do have my staff, and thanks for being here, and we are representing the La Joya ISD CTE staff as a whole. And now I'll give the time to Mr. Munoz so that he can continue with the recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Flores. So ladies and gentlemen of the board, please join me in recognizing our CTE department staff. And like Mr. Flores says, they are here representing the CTE department and the teachers that we have in all of our comprehensive high schools and middle schools that do contribute to our CTE excellence. So we would like to first recognize Mr. Sam Garza. He is our CTE facilities coordinator. Ms. Vanessa Trevino, CTE coordinator. Not joining us this evening, but we would like to recognize as well Ms. Gloria Cantu, CTE coordinator. Ms. Giovanna Hernandez, her CTE advisor. Ms. Norma Salinas, her CTE secretary. Ms. Amy Leal, our CTE clerk. And Mr. Jorge Flores, our CTE director.
Next, we have recognition of the boys and girls regional qualifying swim team members from La Joya High School, Juarez Lincoln High School, and Palmview High School.
Good evening, Mr. President Cantu, Board of Trustees, Dr. Gisela Sáenz, Superintendent of School, Administration, and Community. It gives me great pleasure today to introduce our regional qualifiers in the swimming or swim team. These young men, young ladies have been doing an excellent job working through their academic classes and work. They've done an excellent job. We want to appreciate and thank them and their coaches for their hard work, dedication, and commitment. From La Jolla High School, freshman Jimena Lopez qualified in the 100 backstroke. Senior Joseph Gonzalez qualified in 100 butterfly, 500 freestyle, 200 medley relay, 200 freestyle relay regional qualifier. To give you an example of what he swims one whole football lap and 1/4 more swimming. That's that 500 meter swim. That's a long way. Great job. Freshman Javier Liguez, 100 backstroke, 200 medley relay, 200 freestyle relay, regional qualifiers. Osvaldo Rios, Jr., 100 breaststroke, 200 medley relay, regional qualifier. Angel Rios Quintanilla, 200 medley relay, 200 freestyle relay, regional qualifier. And sophomore Andres Martinez, 200 freestyle relay. Their head coach is Coach Frank Figueroa, assisted by Coach Jennifer Gonzalez. High school principal, Mr. Antonio Cano. Dr. Sines, we do have some parents and grandparents of these swimmers from La Jolla High School.
Please stand to be recognized, parents and family.
From Juarez Lincoln High School, regional qualifiers will be their 200 sprint relay, 200 relay, not sprint. Yangel Avila, Jr. Sophomore, David Valdez. Older brother, senior, Juan de Dios Valdez. Not with us, freshman Miguel Partida, and their head coach is Coach Manuel Rodriguez. Juarez Lincoln principal, Mr. Ricardo Estrada.
Parents of these students, please stand to be recognized. Congratulations.
From Palmview High School, we have Daphne Escamilla, sophomore. She participated in the 400 free relay. And their head coach, Coach Leonel Ramirez.
And our students' parents, if you're in the audience, please stand. Congratulations.
Dr. Science, this concludes our athletic recognitions.
Thank you, Coach Garza. Next, we have recognition of the La Jolla Independent School District for receiving the Texas Best Creative Publicity Award 2022 to La Jolla ISD Crime Stoppers Program, and for receiving the Administrator of the Year 2022 Award to Superintendent of Schools and Student Ambassador Naila Morales, student from Palmview High School.
Good evening, Mr. President, Board of Trustees, Superintendent, members of the community. Over the last 20 years, our Campus Crime Stopper program, a certified program, has been participating in the conference every year. This year at the 27th annual conference, we were extremely excited that one of our students, Naila Ramos, was selected as a Texas ambassador. The Crime Stopper Ambassador Program is a student-based leadership program for Texas youth involved in the Crime Stoppers community across the state. The Ambassador Program consists of 12 students and one alternate who are carefully chosen and tasked with setting leadership standards of excellence among their peer groups, acting as role models on their campuses and in their communities, and are also required to complete a series of projects over the course of a calendar year. The primary objective of the Crime Stopper Ambassador Program is to shape young leaders in the Texas Crime Stopper community. The aim of the program is to establish a network of informed and influential students throughout Texas who can actively represent Crime Stoppers while building a proficient skill set and gaining leadership experience. Ambassadors are selected to represent their peers all over the state and serve as the youth voice for Crime Stoppers in Texas. Ambassadors are expected to exhibit at a high degree of maturity, responsibility, flexibility, and leadership at all times. It is with great honor that we announce Naila Morales as Texas Ambassador for the state of Texas. We also want to recognize our board members and our student board members for attending the conference and representing La Jolla ISD at the 27th Annual Campus Crime Stopper Conference. Jose Cázares from Juárez Lincoln High School. Ariana Montoya from Juárez Lincoln High School. Diego Salazar, Juárez Lincoln High School. Kendra Chavez, Juárez Lincoln High School. Naila Morales, Palmview High School. Madain Garza, La Jolla High School. Cynthia Flores, La Jolla High School. Melissa Martinez, Palmview High School. Our Campus Crime Stopper Board President, Xochitl Garcia. Board Member Victor Garza. Board Member Blanca Cantu. And our Coordinator, Officer Luis Salinas. Dr. Science, can you join us for the picture, please?
Pardon me?
Can you join us for the picture, please?
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations.
I understand Naila's parents are in the audience. Would you please stand so that we can recognize you and congratulate you? Congratulations. Any other parents from our Crime Stoppers board members, student board members, if you're here, please stand so that we can recognize you. Thank you. The next item on the superintendent's report is information on requests for proposals awarded by the superintendent as per CH Local. This information item is being provided in accordance to CH Local policy. On September 28, 2022, our School Board of Trustees approved revisions to the corrective action plan to improve procedures regarding purchasing and acquisition. This action was necessary to promote efficiency with the ordering process. All RFPs herein have undergone procurement requirements, including evaluation by a procurement evaluation committee, utilizing the respective evaluation matrix criteria. Each RFP includes a rationale and supporting documentation detailing specific information related to that RFP. The first RFP is on page 58, Board of Trustees, and that is Food and Paper Goods RFP number 2021-19, extension. The second RFP is Food and Paper Goods RFP number 2021-40, extension, and that is found on page 61. Food and Paper Goods RFP number 2022-07, extension, and that is on page 63. Food and Paper Goods RFP number 2022-43, extension, on page 65. Food and Paper Goods RFP number 2023-34, on page 67. Rental Services RFP number 2023-35 on page 71. Automotive Bus Supplies, Repair Parts and Tires RFP number 2023-45 on page 74. And Advertising Services RFP number 2023-51 on page 77. That concludes the superintendent's report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Science. Moving on to item originally number 4, public comments. We have Ms. Brenda Salinas. You can come join us here. You have 3 minutes. During no time, are we able to intervene or talk
I'm
about
asking
you?
for additional time, sir.
How much do you need?
At least 2 more minutes, make it 5, yes. Thank you.
5 minutes is fine.
Appreciate it. Good evening, Mr. President, School Board Trustees, Dr. Science, Administration, and community members. Mr. President, now during the school board meeting on December the 7th, when the additional 1,250 stipend was approved, you stated money invested in our staff and students and not contracts are the best investments. In my opinion, our staff and students are the true heroes in our community. I consider our staff and students our family. What does family do? Take care of family. As long as we're here on the board, we take care of those who invest in our kids. This retention stipend is to make sure we have the best and we retain the best employees in the state of Texas. So my question to you, Mr. President, is why did you immediately second Mrs. Solis' motion to approve the staffing adjustment plan? You have been a school board member since November 2016, 6 years. And were present at all the budget work sessions. with the rest of the previous board members. There was presentations and discussions done on the district financial status, and the district former chief financial officer and central office administrators made recommendations. They made recommendations to close the golf course, the operation of the golf course. They made recommendations to analyze all central office administration positions vacant due to retirement or resignations will be closely, he said, evaluated to determine if the positions need to be filled. Sale of district-owned properties, which Dr. Science mentioned that there was a binder for you all to look at. That there was properties, sales of district-owned properties, and that if you had any recommendation for you all to let her know so she could make a list. Was that being done? Mr. President, the teachers' contracts are a significant investment. Every professional has a contract. Wrongfully investing in our contracts that do not benefit our school employees, students, and community, but the pockets of those that abuse their official capacity is a criminal offense. Unfortunately, LJISD has a history of this. Monies misspent, poor management, policy, and poor priorities. Our students should be our priority. We have a broken district that needs significant repairs. If you think you made a very, very tough decision by approving the staff adjustment plan and closing schools, you don't know what tough decisions our educators and school employees must make daily. You need to walk in their shoes before you make these tough decisions. Other teachers, counselors, librarians and nurses, cafeteria workers, custodians, sped staff, and other employees' plates are overflowing with many tasks and stressful challenges. Mental and physical is a major factor and important role in determining employees' morale. The district is not taking care of employees who give their all and neglect their families during weekends and after school tutorials and extracurricular activities to ensure student gaps are closed and promote the social and emotional needs of our students that are also enduring tough challenges. However, they choose to work for LJISD. Our district has the best, but you're not willing to find better solutions to retain the best for our students? Shame on you. Yes, you have, as decision makers, failed our students, our teachers, our school employees, and LJISD family. Why? The closure of 2 schools and the staffing adjustment plan has our employees and our parents from Leo Benavides and Benavides Elementary in limbo. Our union members and parents from Leo Elementary state, this is one of our members. The uncertainty of where I might teach next year or even if I have a job haunts me every day. And this is what a lot of employees from Benavides and Leo are going through right now, and other school employees. Sale of the water park that depleted our general fund by $20 million in 2018. The golf course that you're talking about, making a decision tonight about the golf course from 27 holes to a standard 18-hole golf course. Is that gonna be?
That's time, Mr. Board President.
I appreciate it. That's it, Ms. Salinas. Appreciate it,
No,
thank you.
I'm sorry, I'm being interrupted.
I gave you 5 minutes.
I was being interrupted, Mr. President, so I deserve that extra time.
I understand, but we gave you 5 minutes. I
Okay.
appreciate it, thank you, Ms.
Well, then I'll go ahead and
Thank
do
you.
this in
Thank you.
another press conference. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Ms. Rocio Garza.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for taking the time and listening to what we got to say. First and foremost, I want to appreciate and thank you guys and give you your credit because it is a very tough decision what you all have to do. I've been a business owner, and through COVID, I had to place 300 employees but I had to do it with the certain assurance that they gave me. The way they trusted me to get them a job, I needed to make sure that they were going to have a job through these difficult times. So I took it upon myself to go stay up till 3 in the morning, wake up at 5 in the morning, and I made sure that these families, these 300 families, had a place to work, had, I didn't know if their significant other had a job or if they had a backup plan. We did. I knew I was safe. I knew I was secure. But today I'm here because I was at a barbecue on Friday and someone came up to me with tears in their eyes. And I'm very weak in the knees with the people that I love and care for. And it's someone that we grew up together. As most of you know, I am born and raised from Havana, Texas. My family's Ancestry.com has been there since the 1800s. So we have our grassroots here, and this is my people, and I care for. And these people, the ones that go out and vote for you guys to make the right decision, like I said, it's a very, very tough decision to make, and I understand. But with that being said, I know there's different processes and due processes that I had to go through with my business shutting down, and the tough decision that I had to make to place employees and lose a quarter average of $150,000 for that quarter. I had to take that cut, and I did it without even considering my well-being or my business. I was asking, and I want to come up to you, the board, to see what due process you all took to ensure that there was the last resort that you all had to do to shut these schools down. Did you do the simple resource analysis of what the city and the community is coming to? Did you see how many living units are going to be built in the next 3 years? Did you find out how many businesses are going to be open in the next 5 years and how many employees are going to be staffed within the next 5 years? I'm wondering if you haven't even taken into consideration all the blooming that Palmview, Benitez, and the surrounding cities have been doing in order to make the city and the district of La Joya ISD bloom with such success. I know I don't have that much time, but I want to thank you guys, and just to consider and maybe be a little bit more lenient with the process that you all took, just so that our community, your voters, the people that supported you, can understand the reason you all took those steps. And also be a little bit more sensitive with the topic. These are people that rely on their jobs and then they're the only I'm pronouncing words.
Breadwinner.
Sorry, I get a little nervous, I forget my words. They're the only ones, and then they also need their benefits. And I get it. Like I spoke to you, Mr. Cantu and Mary, it's all for the students. The students come first, I understand. But the staff, we need to take care of our staff first. And I feel like if we work together, we can find better opportunities, better outlets, maybe, I don't know, sources where we can educate the staff in doing better, like with the workforce or something. But I'm willing to help the district and the board members to find any sources that are out there. But with that being said, that concludes my argument, and thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
so
Rociolas.
much.
I really appreciate your comments, and your comments
Thank
will
you.
be well taken.
Appreciate it, thanks.
Now, I think we have some of the schools that came in today. We have some spokespeople that are going to represent the schools. Who? April Peña? Who's April Peña? Ms. Peña, you're representing Benavides?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is there Leo Elementary here too as well? Oh, yeah, okay.
Yes. Hi, good afternoon. I'm here as a parent representative from our Benavides Elementary. We are wondering why our school is being closed down if it has been newly remodeled. And hopefully in the future, now with the new bridge ending, Sullivan City is finally on the map.
So now we're going to get new subdivisions that are being open. There's going to be more students being enrolled. More now that the pre-K3 program is open, more admissions are currently going to be taken to Benavides. Our school is newly remodeled. We have the new track. We were also promised the playground from the year 2020 to 2021 for the perfect attendance that the kids had. We're still waiting on that, and that was promised by Ms. Gisela Science. We are not really wanting to go to Sanford Ice. Sanford Ice, we feel as a community, as parents, that it's not a safe school. There's always things happening on that school, and it doesn't have a backup plan for evacuation. We've studied the exit routes, and there's no backup plan. They're sitting ducks in that school. Last year, when both schools were together, it was filled. They even had to add portables. So how are they telling us that both schools combined, and now that they have the new, what's it called? The preschools that's there, how do they plan to fit both schools? If currently, when they have anything, parent gathering, it's filled. Imagine both schools together. I mean, come on. Benavides has a bigger lot. Even if they had to add portables, the lot is still there, and it's much safer for the kids. That school has been open for generations. My grandfather worked at that school. My father attended. I attended all my 7 years. My 3 kids are currently there, and it's a school where it's filled with love. We know the staff. We feel confident with them, and we feel safe that it's close to our home. So we want for Benavides to stay open. If the community needs help with parents to help bring more students into, we're willing to help you guys recruit students in order for us to keep open. We also could have considered, how about rezoning? If rezoning could also help moving the certain kids that belongs back to Benavides. We as a community, as parents, we are willing to help out with La Jolla District for anything that they need for more students, if that's the case, the reason why it's being closed. Also, Benavides is considered a three-tier school, Sanford Ice as well. So you're putting 3 and a 3 together, you're setting up our kids for failure because they're going to be cramped in a classroom where if the ratio right now is currently 17, 18 kids per one teacher, imagine 25 to 30 kids, the schools are going to be filled. Our kids are going to be learning, especially now that the STAR tests are getting harder and harder. They need to feel more one-on-one with the teachers in order for them to succeed in life. There's also a lot of students that come from Mexico that we are aware of. Those students can also be come included into our zone to Benavides, and that would also get our numbers up of students. And yes, I mean, there's a lot of employments that are gonna be lost, and there's also employments that are gonna be coming because there's new businesses coming up in the next few years with the new bridge that's coming. So that's all that we have to say.
Thank you. We really appreciate your comments. If you all can just stick around, si nos pueden esperar un poquito aquí, vamos a escuchar lo que tienen que decir los padres de familia de Leo Elementary. Tenemos a Osbelia Peña. Do we have anybody from representing Leo Elementary? Sí, buenas tardes, Miss.
Buenas tardes, mesa directiva. Mi nombre es Osbelia Peña. La razón que les doy mi nombre porque me siento como que hacemos un equipo, como siempre hemos dicho, así bonito, ¿verdad? Entonces, como madre de familia y como tengo mis hijos yo en Benavides, yo vengo pues otra vez con lo mismo, ¿verdad? Que no estamos de acuerdo, ¿verdad? No quisiéramos que la cerraran. Es una comunidad, como ustedes lo saben, pues somos un equipo, todos nos conocemos y todos saben que es una comunidad, Sullivan City. Hay muchos niños, ¿verdad? Lo que pasa, que pues para Benavides hay muchos chiquitos que van a entrar y van a entrar, al rato es una ciudad. Todos sabemos que Sullivan City es una ciudad, ya no es rancho. Entonces, no entendemos los padres de familia, ¿verdad? Como nosotros que tenemos estudiantes ahí, no entendemos por qué están decidiendo cerrar. Bueno, nos dijeron que porque no hay suficientes niños, pero conocemos muchos niños de días ordaz que podemos atraer a Benavides para que crezca el número. Niños, si queremos número de niños puede haber. ¿Ok? Porque eso tenemos entendido que porque tenemos muy poquitos niños, pero la comunidad de atrás de la escuela va creciendo mucho. Y todos lo sabemos. Ahí están los, ¿verdad? Nomás que qué lástima, las madres trabajan, lamentablemente tenemos que trabajar todo el día, por eso no hay muchas mamás, ¿verdad? Y pues quisiéramos una respuesta bonita como equipo, como un equipo que yo sé que somos muy bonito el distrito para ayudarnos a nuestros estudiantes. O sea, yo estoy aquí porque soy madre de familia, como les vuelvo a repetir. Ahí están mis niños, no se han acomodado muy bien en otras partes, o ahí están bien. Yo creo que es suficiente, pienso que me falta tiempo, pero es todo lo que quería decir yo.
Muchas gracias, Miss Peña, se le agradece bastante. Los padres de familia que entraron ahorita en la parte de atrás, ¿vienen representando una de estas escuelas o nada más vienen a Benavides? ¿Dónde está la gente de Leo? Do we have anybody from Leo representing Leo? Okay. Well, I do want to address something, and I think it's very important that we clarify some information and some information out there in the community. When this plan went into place, it didn't start overnight. It's been years in the making. I know since 2012 when the district exploded and the district started constructing schools and everything, enrollment started decreasing and we started hiring people. With that being said, when the enrollment started decreasing, we didn't adjust the way we should have to the enrollment. And I wrote what I wanted to say word for word so I wouldn't be able to miss anything. So I want to personally myself thank everyone here tonight because that means that you care about the well-being of our students, faculty, staff, and the entire La Joya ISD community. And I thank you for that on behalf of myself and all the board here today. It is important that we take part in the conversation when it comes to decisions that impact our district. Es bien importante las decisiones que se toman y hay que tener conversaciones y comunicaciones con los padres, con nuestra comunidad, porque son decisiones que impactarán nuestro distrito. As board president, it is my goal to be as transparent as possible when it comes to decision making in our district. Como presidente de la mesa directiva, es mi objetivo ser transparente cuando se toma de decisiones hacia nuestro distrito. But first, we must recognize our challenge our district has faced in the past and how bad decisions made by few have impacted the livelihood of many. Se han tomado decisiones que tal vez no fueron muy populares en el pasado, pero tenemos que soportar y sobrepasar esas decisiones y como la comunidad unida podemos trabajar juntos. Entonces, for years our district had made headlines in bad financial decision making. It would be irresponsible for us, everyone in this room, to think that decisions made that the board majority don't come with consequences. Everything has consequences. Todas las decisiones que se han hecho tienen consecuencias. Right now, we're on crossroads. We must choose to grow as a district and restore the powerhouse that once was La Joya ISD, or turn a blind eye to our past and its consequences. Ahorita tenemos que restablecer nuestros caminos como fue La Joya en el pasado, y no va a ser fácil. The truth is that the landscape of public education in Texas has changed. La forma educativa en el estado de Texas ha cambiado bastante. Open enrollment in campuses, charter schools have caused the district enrollment to drop. Escuelas abriendo, ideas, charter schools nos ha afectado los números en nuestras escuelas y es la verdad. We cannot choose to ignore the fact, or we can adapt, or we have to adapt to this opportunity to reshape our district. Necesitamos como comunidad adaptar a estos cambios. We can downsize and offer campus with more resources for students and teachers, more technology and more funding. En realidad podemos hacer las escuelas un poquito más chiquitas para que haya más recursos para nuestros niños. Nuestra meta no es cerrar las escuelas. Our goal is not to close campuses, but to focus on the quality of education of each child that receives here in La Joya ISD. Our goal is now we must make a few modifications to our operations and address years of bad hiring practices, but rest assured that teachers and students will not be impacted by these modifications. Tenemos que hacer cambios y los vamos a hacer, pero créanlo y les garantizamos que la educación de sus niños no les va a afectar. Ellos son they are the front line and we will fight for them. Nuestros hijos son la razón que estamos aquí y es por lo que vamos a pelear. We are here to listen to our community and we've been listening. Hemos escuchado lo que ustedes han dicho, nos hemos juntado con padres de familia, toda esta semana hemos escuchado lo que quieren, lo que necesitan, pero de la misma manera, padres de familia que están aquí con nosotros el día de hoy, les pedimos también su apoyo para reclutar y traer los niños de que no están en el distrito escolar de La Joya, que se vengan para acá porque La Joya ISD is the place to be. With that being said, I will work, and the board here will work to bring this back and make sure that we work together to keep these schools open. Vamos a hacer todo lo posible para traer esta decisión y poder trabajar con ustedes, la comunidad, para mantener estas escuelas abiertas. De la misma manera, es bien importante que ustedes también pongan de su parte para poder traer los niños de regreso a la escuela que deben de estar. Porque la verdad, esto es algo crítico que nosotros tenemos que combatir porque es un problema que la verdad, si los números no están ahí, no podemos nosotros mantener las escuelas abiertas. O sea, es un esfuerzo de nuestra parte y quiero que por favor como padres de familia nos ayuden a nosotros para ayudarnos y para poder seguir manteniendo estas escuelas abiertas. Our goal is that no child is left behind. And let's work together to make sure that we accomplish that. Padres de familia, les garantizo que la mesa directiva que está aquí, lo mejor que quiere es la mejor educación para sus hijos. Muchas gracias por haber venido el día de hoy y que Dios los bendiga. Gracias.
Mr. Cantu, I'm going to second that, and I'm just going to say that not because it wasn't needed, I know that it's needed, I know we've discussed it, but also because of the way that it was presented. I think that it's important, we all keep saying that we want to be transparent, and we want to be transparent. And this was not, the way it was included in the staffing adjustment plan was not being totally transparent. And I know that all this board at one time or another has said that they're going to stand for transparency. So therefore, I am reiterating what you're saying, but I'm saying that we bring it back for another vote for both schools to remain open for the 20 2023-2024 school year.
Mr. President, Mr. Cantu, I just want to echo what you've said. I think that the parents here have made good points, and I've been listening not only here, but I've listened to what's out on the news and what's I'm reading, and I can tell you that what I said when I was at Leo J. Leo, that I said, parents, be assured that your kids are in good hands at Leo J. Leo Elementary School. And so I can tell you here, when we started back in January, one of my points that I made from the very beginning was that I believed that that plan needed to be discussed in open session. And I was told, no, that we needed to go back there and discuss it there for specific reasons that I agreed to okay. But I still think, as Dr. Benavides has said, that when we came out the last time, that there was a lack of transparency and full disclosure that could have facilitated what we're doing and where we are now. And so I want to tell Mr. Cantu, yes, I think that the schools, there are some things that can be done. Not only there, but I've been at Benavides, and yes, you're growing, and I've been to the north side of Benavides Elementary Campus, and I can tell you there's a subdivision out there right now that has over 100 lots, or about 100 lots. And so that while you might not have over 300, or you do have that over 300, that may be growing soon. But I think that the intentions of the board have never been to hurt anyone, and we do want to work with parents and staff to make sure that we move forward in a positive way.
Question. You're at 310?
I will let the administration, but I've looked at the campuses, ma'am, and there are 7 campuses right now that are under 500. And one of the points that I heard made on TV was that the 2 campuses were being closed because those were under 500 students. And actually we have 7 elementary campuses that are under 500. And what we're looking at, and you can say more about it, Dr. Science, is how the accountability system works. And you might want to say something about that.
The other thing that may need to happen, and just so that the parents will know, is that, and we've done this before because this district has always had to rezone, and that maybe some rezoning may need to occur. A few bus routes may need to go to another school just to make it more balanced. And that's another thing that we discussed prior to the meeting, that that may need to happen. But I think that we can give you reassurance that it doesn't matter which school the kids go to, the kids will receive a quality education. We have wonderful educators, great leaders that can do a fantastic job of making sure that if there is some rezoning that needs to be done, that the kids will receive a quality education wherever they attend.
And one point that you made, one of you made was
Mr.
that
Cantu, I
the
just
small
want to add
pupil
that we
teacher
need to
ratios
stick to
help.
the agenda.
Yeah.
So closing the achievement gap will be easier when we have smaller.
Okay. I just got some advice from our legal telling us that we need to stick to the agenda. I think we have one more person in public comments.
So, Mr. Cantu, I know that you're going to, did I hear you say that you were going to bring this item back on an agenda? And when would that be, sir?
We need to answer to the.
Yeah, are we in March, or are you having one specially for this?
The next meeting is March the 8th.
Okay, so it will be in the regular board meeting March.
Vamos a tener esta otra vez el 8 de marzo para votar, pero le voy a recomendar a nuestra administración si podemos tener una junta nosotros como con los padres de familia para ver qué las metas que necesitamos para seguir que estas escuelas estén abiertas después del próximo año, y así para comenzar a trabajar juntos, y si hay que caminar las calles, pues las caminamos, no tenemos miedo de andar en las calles. Okay, well, of course. We'll work the meetings in the afternoon. So we'll make sure we clarify with the campuses to make sure the times and the date ahead of time so that we're able to attend and we're able to talk and we're able to come up with a goal. And I think all the kids need to go back to go to sleep because you got school tomorrow, okay? So we have one more public comment. It's Ms. Umbelina Cantu. You have 3 minutes to talk.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the board. My name is Umbelina Cantu, and I'm the school nurse for Sanford Dice Elementary School, and I'm here on behalf of our Department of Health Services. First of all, I would like to thank you for taking the time to hear our concerns. We are grateful and blessed to have a job where we have the opportunity to serve our students and the community. As you all know, the population that we serve is a very special population, unlike many of our surrounding districts. We serve students that have limited resources, where homelessness and poverty are more the rule, not the exception. Because of this, our students come with more needs than your average student. In taking our assistance, you are limiting the care that we can offer our students. The need for our assistance was present pre-COVID to accomplish the day-to-day clinic duties, such as providing a direct service care of students walking into our clinics, prioritizing which students need the care first, medication administration, diabetic care, and getting called out to medical emergencies outside the clinic. Aside from your everyday clinic duties, nurse assistants are vital in assisting with a yearly state-mandated screening of our students that include vision, hearing, scoliosis, hair, teeth, height, and weight, as well as documenting the results in Skyward and the students' medical records. Nurse assistants also assist the nurse in updating state-required immunizations, which are updated at a minimum every month. This includes calling parents, sending notices, updating medical records, and informing parents of clinics where their students can go for their required immunizations. Nurses are required to attend health-related 504 meetings, ARD meetings, IRT meetings. This includes calling parents for updated information, creating a health plan, attending the meeting, and presenting the health plan to all the committees. While the nurse is in said meetings, it is the assistants that are manning the clinic and taking care of the day-to-day clinic duties as previously discussed. In addition, students that are not receiving any of the above noted services but have a condition also have a health plan created by the nurse and issued to the students' teachers. Emergencies in schools vary depending on ages of students, but they do occur in every school. By not having an assistant, the nurse will have to leave the office to tend to an emergency outside of the office, which may include a seizure, a low or high blood sugar, a head injury, a fractured limb, severe allergic reaction, a drug-related emergency, a fight injury, or any other situation where a student cannot be brought to the clinic and the nurse has to go to the student to render care on site. If the nurse is tending to another emergent situation in the clinic or has a clinic full of students that cannot be left alone, the student requiring the care outside of the clinic is having to wait longer in a situation where seconds matter. The need for our nurse assistants was only augmented by COVID-19, where everyone district-wide was overwhelmed with the COVID cases. This devastation caused by COVID-19 was felt everywhere, but especially in the nurses' clinics, where we put in direct contact with COVID-19 cases on a daily basis. Our assistants graciously accepted the task, crying when we were overwhelmed beyond our boundaries, but pushing on to the finish day, only to begin another horrid day the next day. The assistants were the only reason that we, your school nurses, were able to respond when the community was in dire need for the vaccine clinics when we were asked to assist. We were able to assist in 20 COVID clinics thanks to our assistants. The nursing department is a student-based, student-focused, specialized department where students' health and safety are our priority. Please give our students the best shot of having healthy school years and a brighter future by keeping our nurse assistants. And thank you for your cooperation or consideration in this matter.
Thank you, Ms.
so
Cantu.
much.
Appreciate your comments. Just real quick before we move on to our agenda, let's just, in the future, let's get informed before we bring anything to the board. Just to clarify, The retention stipend was from ESSER funds. That has nothing to do with our general fund. So, and to clarify that, La Joya ISD was the district that had the most ESSER funds. So I think we did a good decision in giving it back to where it belongs, our staff and our students. Thank you. Moving on to item number 7, discussion items. We have discussion of investment and investment earnings as of December 31st, 2022. Here, Mr. Ben Garza.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Science. Today I'll be presenting the investments and investment earnings as of December 31st, 2022. In your agenda packet on page 81, this page reflects a listing of investments and represents the investment position of La Joya ISD as of December 31st, 2022. The district had a total investment of $117,045,410, of which 69.66% was in the general fund in the amount of $81,535,925. On page 86, this page reflects the investment earnings for the district. As of December 31st, 2022, the district had a total investment earnings of $976,090, of which 92.5% was earned in the general fund in the amount of $902,480. The bottom portion of that page reflects the interest rates. The rates are gradually increasing. Like always, for the betterment of the district, we do the best we can to capture the best rate available to maximize earnings for the district. This concludes my presentation. Are there any questions?
Any questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 8, consent agenda. Can I have a motion to approve?
So move.
On the consent agenda, sir, is this where we tell you which ones we need to pull out?
Well, before, but I mean, you need to pull, you want to pull which one out?
Yeah. Just, there's some minor things that need to be addressed.
Okay.
For number 1 on C1, and then C4, C5, C6, and C7.
Okay, we're going to, under business and finance consent agenda, we're pulling item number C1, C4, C5, C6, and C7. With that being said, can I have a motion to approve consent agenda?
So move.
I have a motion. Can I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Ms. Solis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. So then going back to contracts. We're going back to item number 9 under contract. Number 1, acceptance of memorandum of understanding of grant award from Region 1 for Project Path 4, Path Alignment to Health and Science Projects.
So move.
Can I have a motion? Can I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Ms. Solis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, motion carries. Under contracts, number 2, approval of renewal agreement between La Joya Independent School District and Grand Canyon University.
So move.
I need a favor. I need a motion.
A favor too.
Go through all of them.
I could help you with the motion.
I have a motion. I need a second.
Second.
I have a second by Ms. Solis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3, approval of memorandum of understanding between La Joya ISD, Hidalgo County Law Enforcement Agencies, and Handle with Care Program.
So move.
I have a motion by Ms.
I have a
Dr.
discussion question. A question for discussion.
Let me just have a second so we can open it up to discussion.
I heard her say second.
Second.
Okay,
I'll second.
sorry.
Second by Mr. Oresti. Can we open it up for discussion?
We can just get I'd like to have just some.
I'll answer this. This is coming from Judge Cortez's office where I work. So if you have any questions, I know Isidro's also here.
Chief, I was going to ask Chief if he could give us just a briefing on it.
Yeah,
and then I'm just concerned if there's any liabilities on the district for what's happening.
So I gave you a pamphlet, and Isidro will.
Well, I remember being told that if you're let the district answer the question, so maybe we could get.
Sorry.
I know it's a good thing. I'm just wanting to look at.
Well, can I explain it, and then if I don't answer your question, then we'll go on. But this is an initiative that we're having through Hidalgo County, and we do know that we're having a lot of responses to children with traumatic issues at houses. This is a program specific to notify the district and the principals and the campus that this child had a traumatic event. There is no description of the trauma that happens. The only thing that happens is that somebody at the campus is notified that this child had a traumatic event either that day or that week, and we have to handle with care, hence the name, right? This is an MOU with every single police law enforcement entity in our area, including the Sheriff's Department for our schools that are in the mile lines, and including those that are in the city limits of Mission, Palmview, Peñitas, La Jolla, and Sullivan City. And again, this is just the beginning of it. I think we're one of the first school districts to initiate this. And I do think it's a great thing for all our kids, and I know it's going to help out a lot with our counselors and our student services department. And
this is an excellent opportunity. I'm aware of it already. And
we're doing it
because you were doing it in EdCouch and approving it on Monday. But one of the things that's really, really good about it is sometimes as teachers, we're very insistent on a kid, like, where's your homework? And, why didn't you do this? And why didn't you that? And this will alert the staff so that they can today be a little nicer to Esmer because something happened last night, at home. And like Mr. Ureste said, it's not going to be discussed what happened, but something happened. And therefore, you need to be a little more sensitive. And he's definitely correct. There's a lot of mental trauma going on with children right now. So this is excellent that the Hidalgo County is doing this partnership with the school districts. Yes.
That is correct. By the way, good evening, members of the board, board president, and Madam Superintendent. Yes, that is correct. The information that provided is correct. I think we're going to be one of the first ones that, as a matter of fact, we're already using it. It already went through legal. He did review the documentation. There are no legalities involved. Because of the privacy issue, we're not going to be violating anybody's privacy. So the way it's going to work is that, like I said, we're already doing it. They notify. I'm going to be the contact person for LJISD. What happens is when a law enforcement agency responds to, it could be anything from a domestic violence issue at home to an arrest that happened, or a warrant, or even a traffic accident, or any type of incident that might happen at home. And when law enforcement arrives at the residence and if they feel that the child or children there that are present were present when this incident happened, kids are very susceptible to this type of trauma, and we see it every day at the school district. And Dr. B, what you were saying earlier about, we just don't know what happens at home. We always assume, wake up, get up, you're not doing your work. We really don't know what's going on at home. And with this tool, now we have an idea as to at least to alert the campus counselors and the teachers to let them know this child just experienced something traumatic. We're not going to tell you what it is. They're not even going to tell me. The only information I'm going to get is the child's name, the school, and their age. Then I go in there and I find out exactly what grade they're in, and I let the campus know. They are supposed to keep an eye on the child and just observe him or her. If they feel that they see something different in him or her, the kid falls asleep in class, doesn't want to pay attention, they already know, they're aware of what's going on, and they can just keep an eye on the kid and handle that child with care. That's why it's called Child with Care Program. So they can just keep an eye on them. If it's something severe, we already met with the counselors, and so we already had a meeting with them, so they know what it's about. Then they already have the protocols to take care of the situation. But for now, that's what the program is about. Like I said, it's a wonderful tool. Everybody's talking about it. Even when I emailed the counselors, thank you, Mr. Canal, for letting me know. We're going to let the teacher know right away. So they address it right away as soon as it happens. So we are there for the kids, and we just want to have an opportunity to be there for them in case they need something. They might want to talk, or they might even come up to the teacher on their own. But that's a tool that we're going to be having so that they'll be aware, so we know how to handle these kids with care from now on.
So in the district responsibilities, it says that all personnel and parents and guardians are to be trained. So Can you say a little bit more about that?
We're not going to be calling the parents. That's not what the program is about. All we're going to be notifying the schools to let them know, hey, something happened at home with this child. Just be observant. Just, nomás pon un poquito más atención. That's what it is. We're not going to be calling home, hey, what happened last night? I heard the cops went to your house. That's not what it's about. This is just about being a little bit more alert and pay a little bit more attention to the child.
Okay.
Mira, she's cute.
Any other questions? I had a motion, a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I want to thank the county for taking this initiative.
Definitely.
The judge, county, this is thinking outside the box, and any extra information we can have to better.
Yeah, it was excited to have all the law enforcement agencies there, and a whole bunch of school district personnel were there also. Commissioner was there, we were there. Even Rio Grande heard about it through the social media, and now they're calling Hidalgo County. How can they do it to start up their program also? So it's a wonderful thing that's going on with our kids.
It's a great partnership. Thank you, Mr. Casanova. I even the name Handle with Care, I just think it's so appropriate to get this help for those children that need help to heal or to adjust to something. So thank you so much to the county and, to our school district as well for implementing something like this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Casanova.
Thank you, Mr. Casanova.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 4, approval of counseling program agreement with La Jolla ISD and the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley.
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Oresti, a second by Ms. Solis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. And then we go back to consent agenda. Or we go. Yeah, C1, it's approval of application and certificate of payment contractors fees number 4 for the La Jolla ISD ESSER Fund projects, canopy structure, phase 1, M2 engineering.
And that one is just a question regarding the amount. Because I'm looking at what was submitted, and I'm trying to find the number that you have there. And what I noticed was under this period, what the expenditures were, and it differs a little bit. So I just am wondering where the $286,960 is coming from.
Good evening, Board President, Mr. Cantu, Madam Superintendent, Dr. Gisela Science, esteemed board members, administration, and La Jolla ISD community. To answer your question, Dr. Zamora, there was a previous balance of $953,212.82. So this payment request, if you see on the next page, it's there for $286,960 with 37 cents, and we'll have a balance of $666,252 with 45 cents.
So then they don't have to be the same as what comes under this period expenditures. Because I've noticed under this period, it shows what the costs are, and then it just differs a little bit, but I'm just wondering why.
That's just what the...
And that's the same question that I have on the others, so if your answer is similar, then I'll
It is,
accept.
that's what the engineering is certifying for those projects. So they go ahead and submit their paperwork and give us those amounts.
Okay.
Any other questions?
So I'm okay with that one, sir.
Okay, I need a motion for approval.
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Oresti.
Second.
A second by Ms. Solis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Item number 4, approval of application payment engineering fee number 2 to oversee the La Jolla ISD ESSER inclusive playground phase 1.
That has been answered. The question that I was going to ask has been answered.
Let me have a motion to approve.
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Oresti, a second by Ms. Hernandez. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Item number 5, approval of application and certificate for payment of contractors fees number 1 for the La Jolla ISD ESSER Network Operations Center Project, Sigma HN Engineering PLLC. Need a motion to approve?
That's approved.
Oh,
I so move. I had.
Okay. Dr. Zamora has a motion. I need a second.
A second.
Second by Ms. Hernandez. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Item number 6, approval of application and certificate for payment of contractors fees number 8 for the La Jolla ISD funds project, JFK and Tabasco Elementary School HVAC upgrades. Need a motion?
I so move.
A motion by Dr. Zamora. Need a second?
Second.
A second by Mr. Oresti. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Item number 7, approval of application for payment of engineering fees number 2 to oversee the La Jolla ISD ESSER funds, La Jolla High School Gym HVAC project renovations. I need a motion.
So I have 2 invoices in here, sir.
Okay.
That's the reason I pulled it up. There's one that is from MEP Solutions, and then the RGBP Reprographics. So are those to be paid? There's one for $594. That's not part of the number, so, but you're including it in the item. So I don't know if that should be paid also.
No, the only one is the engineering certifying payment is the $112,653 with 75 cents.
So the other item that is there is not to be paid?
No.
That's on page 256.
No, sir.
Okay, thank you.
What is that invoice about?
I think it's just the addendum that they did, but I don't know why he included it here.
Is the 534 included in the 112?
It's not part of the.
No, it's not,
cost
ma'am.
of the item.
I think he just included. I think it's just not.
Oh, you know what?
It wasn't
Over here on the bottom, it says RGB reprographics is $494. It's the same amount,
there it is.
$594.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Reimbursable expenses.
So it is included, yes.
I think it's just to show the backup on it.
Yeah. And then we still have a balance pending of $201,000 with $786,063 for that particular project.
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Oresti. I need a second.
I'll second that.
Second by Dr. Zamora. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those
Aye.
opposed, motion carries. Moving on to, under Business and Finance, we're still in Business and Finance. Item number 9, approval of the color selection for La Jolla ISD ESSER.
We had 8. Oh, no, I didn't say 8. I'm sorry.
Inclusive playground equipment phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Need a motion to approve?
On this one, we will need for you, Board of Trustees, to approve option 1, which is on page 261, and it's called Bright Primary, or approve option 2, which is Mellow Modern, on the next page.
Oh, 1. Option 1.
I move to approve option number 1.
Option 1, right?
Yes, bright primary.
They gave us a lot of options in the
But it looks
community.
more bright, more
But we all
más alegre.
liked one.
Yeah.
And it won't discolor as fast.
True.
Because it's darker.
It's clear.
So, second.
So I have a motion to approve option 1 by Dr. Benavides, a second by Mr. Oresti. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Item number 10, approval of commence procurement process for La Jolla ISD and Richards Middle School roof renovations. I think this project was long overdue. I think it needed the renovations for the roof. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion by Dr. Cantu. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Oresti. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, motion carries. Item number 11, approval of Lone Star governance training for newly elected board members to attend in in Houston, Texas on April 21st to the 22nd, 2023. I need a motion to approve.
Is this for only newly elected board members, or?
Yes.
Am I included there or not?
Am I?
Yes, if you did not attend the 2-day training that we did in the fall semester, we did a
the one that we
2-day
did here?
training. Oh, you did it, sir?
Yes.
So, yes, so you do not
I
need
don't
to
have to
attend
go.
this one.
Okay.
Right, so it would be for Ms. Solis and Mr. Oresti.
Thank you.
Oh, and for the record, also, we just to make it clear to the community that every travel has to come to the board whether we go or not. So it has to be board approved. So with that being said, can I have a motion to approve?
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Oresti. I need a second.
Second.
A second by Ms. Solis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
One question, is this a required training by the government, by TA? Or Dr. Science, whoever?
It's required as part of the Lone Star governance training, and it does require that all board members have to have that initial 2-day training.
Okay.
Yeah,
So the answer is yes.
Yes, okay, just for clarification.
Okay, moving on, under Instruction and Student Services, item number 29, approval to submit the Rifle Resistance Body Armor Grant Program Resolution number 2023-01 to provide law enforcement officers with rifle-resistant body armors.
So moved.
Okay, I had
Second.
7 motions. I have a motion by Dr. Cantu, a second by Mr. Oresti. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Under Human Resources, number 1, ratification to approve stipend request for elementary soccer league coach. I need a motion to approve.
I'll motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Oresti. I need a
Second.
second by Dr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Item number 2, still under Human Resources, we have approval of Texas Teacher Evaluation and Support System T-Test Appraiser. I need a motion to approve.
So
So
moved.
move.
I have a motion by Ms. Solis, a second by Mr. Oresti. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Under item F, we're going into executive session. The board, under section code 55.071, 551.074, and 551.072 at 7:52 p.m. We are back out of executive session at 11:04 p.m. Seems like we're always having late meetings now.
One, two, and three, I recommend a motion authorizing administration to proceed as discussed in executive session.
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Oresti. I need a second. Second by Ms. Solis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Item number 4.
Mr. Board President, item number 4, legal counsel recommends that board move forward with termination of Jose Salinas.
Can I have a motion for that?
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Oresti. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Solis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. On item number 5.
Mr. Board President, on item number 5, legal counsel recommends that the board propose the termination of the 2022-2023 Chapter 21 term contract of employee Cynthia Munoz for good cause before the end of the contract period.
Can I entertain a motion? I need a motion for number 5, item number 5.
So move.
I have a motion by Dr. Zamora. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Oresti. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Item number 6.
Mr. Board President, on item number 6, legal counsel recommends that the board propose the termination of the 2022-2023 Chapter 21 term contract of Ricardo Fernandez for good cause before the end of the contract period.
Can I entertain a motion? Need a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Solis. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Dr. Cantu. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. And then we have items number 7.
Mr. President, with respect to item number 7, I recommend a motion authorizing legal counsel to proceed as discussed in executive session.
I have can I entertain a motion?
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Oresti, second by Ms. Solis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Item number 8.
Mr. President and members of the board, with respect to items 8 through 12, I recommend a motion authorizing legal counsel to proceed as discussed in executive session.
I'd like to abstain from item number 8.
Okay, I have Mr. Oresti will abstain. Can I entertain a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion by Dr. Cantu,
Second.
second by Ms. Solis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And I have one, Mr. Oresti will abstain. Motion carries. Item number 9.
No.
Yeah.
I thought all.
Oh, 9 to 10, okay.
12.
This was motion and approval from motion 8 to 12, and we only had Mr. Oresti abstain on item number 8.
Item number 8, correct.
Okay, with that being said, it is 11:07.
Motion to adjourn.
I need a motion to adjourn.
So
Just
moved.
did.
I have a motion by Ms. Solis,
Second.
second by Dr. Cantu. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. It is 11:07 p.m. Thank you.